All right. We are live.
Oh, we are live. Okay, hi. Hello, Durud and Shalom. We be live. My name is Armin Navabi.
And I'm Ali Samani. Welcome to our live stream today. The Islamic Republic is almost out of gasoline. Some people are saying it's mere days away or weeks away from completely running out of any fuel stock that it has left. You can imagine the chaos that will ensue afterwards. You guys all know what happens when people panic, or even when people start thinking that a stock or maybe toilet paper during COVID or something is running out. They start to hoard up on it, and that dwindles even faster. So what is happening right now is that the gas lines are becoming increasingly severe, and we're getting a, quite frankly, not so intelligent message from the Islamic Republic onto how to deal with these long gas lines. They're saying, let me play this video. Oh, wait. Why doesn't it let me? Okay, there we go.
صف طولانی جایگاه‌های سوخت و بازرسی از این
In this video of the Islamic Republic's media, they're explaining how the long lines are because of the people. The people's consumption of fuel is a lot, and people should, get lower. And they're asking people, how much fuel do you consume, and how long do you have to wait in lines, and this and that, putting the blame on basically everyone except for their own governance here. Their solution: don't form lines. Sort out alternatives on your own. Now, this is quite rich after the Islamic Republic has been caught multiple times in the past week stealing gasoline from the Iranian people. And additionally, we have reports that these gas stations that you guys see here, let's go back in that clip right there. So this gas station pretty much looks like this. They'll tell you there's no gas. And then the security forces, the Basij, will pull up and start pumping gas. How interesting. They're keeping the gas for the security forces, who are now patrolling the city of Tehran and other major cities after receiving an order this week by the head of the Basij, Hossein Taeb, to deploy out in force. They have their rifles fully out, paintball guns, batons, and riding through their motorcycles. Armin, can you give us an idea of why this might be happening now?
So, guys, the Islamic Republic actually, unlike what people think, works on a lot of good data that they have internal. Okay, a lot of people think that these people are just crazy people that don't know what they're doing, but their behavior gives us access to the information that they have and we don't have. This is why when we were predicting that all of this is going to cause a potential uprising, the Islamic Republic is exposing to us based on this behavior that their data shows the same thing, right?
Correct. Absolutely correct. This is a clear indicator of two things. If you run out of gasoline, the people will come out. That's what they're worried about. They deploy a lot of their security forces, not just in the capital city, but the major cities at the moment. But here's the problem. I think that they're hoarding a lot of this gasoline for themselves and taking it because I think in the upcoming uprising, they're gonna want to make sure that they have enough gasoline for their own forces to get around and be able to suppress people. In turn, that actually makes the timer for when the uprising arrives shorter. Armin, how difficult is it for the current forces to be able to carry out suppression?
Well, unfortunately, not that difficult. The problem is that they will have to spill blood. And in the current situation that they're in, with the international community being forced by the United States to put the Islamic Republic under more isolation, another massacre of the Iranian people does two things. First of all, it will put more condemnation and attention against the Islamic Republic, creates more global unity against the Islamic Republic. One, two, it creates the required narrative for United States and Israel to go back to military operations for the against the Islamic Republic, and the Islamic Republic, because of the current economic devastation that is being inflicted upon it, is not as ready to fight back. Even though last time they didn't do much of a fighting, this time they're going to be even weaker compared to before, right? So, as much as the Islamic Republic is able and willing to shed the blood of the Iranian people, it is not eager to do that because of what that means. What are the secondary consequences of that is going to be after, regarding creating more global unity against it, but two, creating the situation, the conditions for the next war to happen, right? And for that reason, they're trying to avoid it.
And so during this next uprising that will occur, the Islamic Republic doesn't actually need that many forces in total. Even if some of the Basij don't show up to work, they can still suppress the Iranian people to a large extent. The question is this, Armin, do you think less or more people will come out to the streets next time?
It could be less at first before it gets more, but it could be of a different kind that the Islamic Republic doesn't want to kill, right? So the problem is that the next uprising could include people who are Islamic and pro-jihadi, and that is going to be difficult to suppress, because killing those people will make it undeniable that the Islamic, for the pro-regime people, that the Islamic Republic is now killing them, and it will it would be a catalyst for the Islamic Republic's last remaining base of support to collapse.
So it might be less at first. And then what about the suppression forces? Do you believe they will be less or more this time?
It's going to be proportional to the level of threat the Islamic Republic is fearing. So the Islamic Republic saw that the last time that they did mass killing of the Iranian people, they lost their supreme leader because of it. And they lost so much because of it. So they look at the Iranian people and they see they're unarmed. So, and they are not afraid of killing the Iranian people. So they shoot into the unarmed Iranian people with no care. But at the same time, what that caused the American and Israelis attack and so much loss, because of what they in their mind had to do to the Iranian people, right? So they're afraid of the international consequences of them attacking the Iranian people. So they are going to try to avoid it as much as possible. So if the Islamic Republic is going to avoid killing the Iranian people, it's not because they care for the Iranian people. It is because they're afraid of the consequences. And so they're trying to find every way possible. So they will try to hold back. And I know a lot of people will hear that and think that I'm being crazy, like, oh, the Islamic Republic is going to try to hold back, not to kill the Iranian people. Yes, they always try to hold back. That's always a last measure. Again, not because they have any sympathy for the Iranian people, but because they're afraid of the consequences, right? And so if they start massacring the Iranian people, is because they will only do it when they think that if they don't, everything is going to get, like, they're going to lose. Like, if they're at the edge of the collapse and they think the Iranian people are going to take over, if they don't shoot at them, that's the only time that they will shoot.
Correct. And then what about, so that's the IRGC suppressive forces, the Basij, ramping up. But do you think the number it was before January 8th, the forces that they had then, do you think they have less, or do you think they have more now?
They have less internally, but they have probably prepared more from external, because they haven't sat idly by. They now know what the Iranian people are capable of, right? And they don't want to be caught off guard anymore. So there's two forces at play here, right? One is that we had more defections and more loss of faith from the base of the regime, right, and the people from the oppressive forces, right, of the against the Iranian, from the people who are supposed to be anti-riot. So obviously, less of them are getting paid, less of them have faith in the regime. So in that sense, it's going to be less. But from another perspective, the Islamic Republic has seen numbers of Iranian people come out that it has never seen before, and it was caught off guard. So obviously, the Islamic Republic has taken measures to try to be prepared for something like that happening next time. So we have to see, and none of that preparation is public, but you can be sure that they have done certain things to get prepared for the next uprising.
Absolutely. And we're going to discuss that. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about that. So, as it stands, the answers are the amount of people that will come out might be less than before, at least in the beginning. The amount of forces that the Basij and the IRGC have are less than before. What about the proxy forces that the Islamic Republic can bring in to the country to murder the Iranian people? Would that be also less than before or more?
So in one sense, you might think it's going to be less because they have access to less money to pay for the proxies. But we also have to understand. That the money that it takes to pay for proxies to shoot at the Iranian people is a fraction of the total budget of the revenue of oil and gas. So, given how this is an existential crisis for the Islamic Republic, and even if without money, for many other things, they probably are going to cut from so many things to be able to pay for this. And then, like, just because they have less money, it doesn't mean that they're not going to pay more for this. So they might have less money for everything else, while at the same time pay more money for this, and they will be able to afford it.
So they'll prioritize the suppression of the people over anything else, and it's absolutely correct. They won't even pay their own suppressive forces if they have to prioritize paying the proxies to come in. A lot of the suppressive forces, here's the thing, January 8th and 9th, a lot of them afterwards had bad feelings about killing so many Iranian people. Some of them didn't want to do it again. The Islamic Republic knows who those people are. The Basij who stayed and had no problem with murdering Iranians in cold blood, those guys are the real problem. They will never be dissuaded. You cannot pay them. You can have, different disagreements in this. Until the Islamic Republic goes, they are a problem. They have to go no matter what at the end. So, might be less Iranian people coming out in the beginning, maybe more in later. They have less suppressive forces. They will prioritize the proxies coming in. So that arrives us at a critical juncture that I would like to keep on saying. Iraq is a very key, important piece for the Iranian people, I think more so than we realize, where the proxies in the south of Iraq here, namely the PMF, were the main culprits of murdering the Iranian people in the major cities. So for them to get enough fuel to come in, even though there's a fuel shortage, that might be why the IRGC are stocking up on gasoline. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are already invited inside the country at the moment, although I don't see any reports of this. I do see reports of Afghani proxies invited into the south east of Iran by the Islamic Republic, but I haven't heard anything else from the west. In turn, the Islamic Republic is actually reinforcing this area with tanks every single day. This entire south coast of Iran is actually, and I don't know if that's just providing targets to the United States for what, because I don't anticipate them doing anything with these tanks here unless they plan to use them on the people. When this next uprising happens, it's difficult to put yourselves in the headspace of someone who's willing to come out. They know what happened on January 8th and 9th. It's a big question of if they're willing to put themselves in the line of danger and get hit by bullets like that again. Armin, what would possibly make someone, a father, a mother, a kid, a teenager, come out on the streets again, knowing what happened on January 8th and 9th? Would it be the threshold of, hey, I have nothing to lose anymore?
Yes. You just stole the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say exactly those words. That was exactly what I was going to say. Having nothing else to lose. Nothing
And
else to lose.
do they have to reach that point? Does everyone have to reach that point, or do they think they are about to? They just need to think that they're about to reach that point.
Yes, yes. I mean, we had 5 million people, more than 5 million people show up last time with something to lose. So I'm pretty sure people will still show up if many of them are not there yet. But many more people will show up because they think they're getting to the point where they have nothing to lose.
Okay. So more and more people are arriving to that conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been watching our show, you can see the prices, the inflation, and everything that's going on. We actually have the inflation numbers for you, freshly polled, and let's show you guys that real quick before we get into what is going to be done about all this. All right. So the average for the past 12 months has been 65% inflation, according to the central bank of Iran. Let's take a wild guess and say that it's just going to be a whole lot more than 65%, because if they're reporting that, it's probably a whole lot worse. Year on year, goods inflation is 121%. By the way, every month they have about 4%. But this is their numbers, guys. This is way worse in reality, okay? This makes people hopeless. Running out of gas makes people hopeless. Seeing the Basij be able to load up on gas while they can't, while the regime supporters still have money and they don't, none of that contributes. And when the Islamic Republic comes out with statements saying it's just the people's fault, it's the people's fault, you guys should consume less gas, you guys should find ways around it, those don't help either. All right, so people come back out in the streets. The IRGC are less in number. The proxies may be less in number. Maybe the regime doesn't have enough money, but it probably will, and it'll bring all the proxies it can. Here's the thing. It can't bring in Hezbollah anymore. Can't bring in Hamas anymore. The PMF, they have to be tied up. If they're not tied up, we're at a massive disadvantage. So September 30th is one of the most important deadlines in the freedom of the Iranian people, period. The proxies say we're not going to disarm. Al-Zaidi says you need to disarm. Here's what it depends on. Is Al-Zaidi, the Prime Minister of Iraq, going to back down and give another extension of the deadline, or are the Iraqi counterterrorism forces and the United States going to work together and actually get rid of these proxies? Here's the other question. Once these proxies are losing, because they will in an open fight, they'll lose. Are they going to retreat into Iran? And during that retreat, are they going to be still pursued and hit? These are all questions that we will be finding out in the next 30 days, next few weeks. Okay, so now let's picture in our heads another January 8th. And these are scary thoughts, but let's picture another January 8th and 9th. The people are back out on the streets. The suppression forces are back out. This time, with what the United States and Israel know and what they have in the region, Armin, do you think that the United States and Israel will sit by this time that the Iranian people come out? In your opinion, what do you think?
Well, United States is, I'm not sure. Israel, no. Israel will not sit by. I mean, okay, depends on what you mean by sit by, because neither will sit by. But we have to ask about the level of involvement, right? Because the United States and Israel are not sitting by already, because both Mossad and CIA are right now actively involved inside Iran and doing things. So they're already involved, right? But if we're talking about the level of engagement, you're talking about like kinetic military operations inside Iran. Would we see that? I think we will. I think for Israel, for sure, from United States, pretty likely we are going to see that, because if we have a major uprising, it would be difficult to imagine United States not coming out and supporting the Iranian people, especially after especially if we already have the U.S. Navy there, and President Trump last time saying help is on the way. The Navy being there, the Iranian people being in the streets. If there is no air support for that uprising, it's really hard to imagine the Air Force, the United States having that much power sitting there, and the Iranian people being shot at and no help coming out and supporting them. Really hard to imagine that. So I would say very likely yes.
And everyone watching this, ask yourselves, how stupid would it be if the United States sat by and did not do anything the next time the Iranian people did come out on the streets? Just zoom out for a second. Is it really possible even for them to sit by and do nothing? It's in the benefit of the is in the benefit of the United States for the Islamic Republic to go. The biggest pressure on the Islamic Republic is the Iranian people, and you can't control exactly when they come out. But with the blockade and other such sanctions, it does create an atmosphere for the Iranian people to come out. And when they do, for you to just sit by and do nothing would be stupid to say the least. I mean, it just would go against all logic and reasoning, not to mention how bad it would look politically for Donald Trump, given his previous statements and just, being a champion of democracy, people coming out and getting massacred when the U.S. have forces sitting right there would be insane. So why are we going back towards that? Well, the head of the Security Council for the Islamic Republic today said a couple things, and so did Donald Trump. And we've put these two statements together. We're going to tell you about them. We're going to tell you why we're going straight back to a potential military conflict real soon. Today, Mohsen Rezai, he's the Supreme National Security Council head. He said, and don't laugh, as we have said before, Beirut is definitely considered a red line, and Iran will respond directly to any Israeli aggression against it. Since we imposed this equation, no Israeli attacks have occurred against Beirut. Let's get started with that before we go into that. So first of all, this is funny because their exact words were, hey, if they hit the south of Lebanon, we'll strike Israel. That didn't happen. Now they're saying Beirut, which, by the way, Israel's they're not even targeting Beirut at the moment. They're focused on the south of Lebanon. So it's funny that they say these things called gondaguzi in Farsi, where they just bluff and say all these boisterous words. But then he also said, the only way for us to end this war or go back to negotiations is to go back to the June MOU. On paper, it was very advantageous for the Islamic Republic. They still couldn't carry it out there. And now they're saying we need to go back to that. That's the only way. Vice versa, Donald Trump said we're not going back to the June MOU today. Not doing it. Why would we? Armin, why would the United States not want to go back to the June MOU, even though they drafted it and gave it to the Islamic Republic?
Because they got the Strait of Hormuz already. I mean, the Islamic Republic has lost its leverage. I mean, with all of this tough talk by the Islamic Republic, Brent, I'm looking at right now, Brent crude oil is at $86. So the MOU was about opening the Strait of Hormuz. I think the United States are like, no, we're good. We're good. Like, why should we agree? Why should we give you anything for something that we have already got, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's like 100% ideal, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not good, but it is so much under $100. So the Islamic Republic is not causing that much damage. So the point of the MOU was to reduce the damage that the Islamic Republic could do at the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, it was pretending to be that. So the United States has moved past the Strait of Hormuz, and if there's any deal that the United States might look at and consider, would be now about the enriched uranium. It wouldn't be about the Strait of Hormuz. So they're like, if you want to come up with something bigger, we might take a look at it, but nothing regarding the Strait of Hormuz. Now, mind you, I think the Americans shouldn't pay attention to any deal that the Islamic Republic sends them. But if they even wanted to pay attention to a deal, it wouldn't be anything like the MOU. The Islamic Republic is in a much weaker position than it was when the MOU was signed. So any deal that the United States would be interested in right now would be something very different from the MOU. I mean, at least it should be.
And so that phase of the MOU was about opening up the Strait of Hormuz. We saw after months, the United States finally resorted to those 13 days of strikes. They resorted to Operation Freedom Plus, where even tonight, if you open a flight tracker, you will see U.S. Air Force refueling tankers operating around this area. Why? Remember, if you see refueling tankers with their transponders on, that means there are F-16s, F-35s, etc., with their transponders off. They patrolled the area. They let oil go through. And according to Chris Wright, the Energy Secretary of the United States, we have 75% of the output of oil going through. We're only missing 25%. So the war, apparently, right now, has only hurt us about 25% in terms of oil output. Countries are starting to make a recovery, or at least that's according to the Energy Secretary. The reality in the Strait tells us a different story. I believe that the United States might be buffing the numbers a little bit here. The amount of oil should be a little bit less than what they're saying. Regardless, the price of oil is low. Regardless, the Islamic Republic was not able to achieve its objective in pushing oil to $200 a barrel. Worse than that, every other country is undercutting the Islamic Republic at this point, and China is preferring to buy from them, so their leverage is falling by the day to their best friend, Xi Jinping. So as you were saying about the proxies, this is the period, I believe, that they worked on in terms of containing the proxies. So let's go one by one real quick, but maybe like just spend 15, 20 seconds on each. So Hezbollah in Lebanon. Benjamin Netanyahu said, we have Hezbollah fully contained. We got them right where we want them, but we don't want to do that final push and eradicate them because these guys are wild animals. We don't know what they're going to do. And just quite frankly speaking, my personal opinion, if you're a prime minister who's elected and, a lot of your big points have been anti-terror, might not serve you too much right now before the elections to have that terror gone. Might serve a political purpose to have it there to some extent. And if we go down into Yemen, the Yemeni Houthis are getting slammed. Although they're fighting back really hard, Saudi-backed militias have gotten their hands on Ukrainians and their drones, and they're using them to great effect on the Houthis here. The Houthis are losing dozens of men a day, and I'm not quite sure how long they can prepare for this. So we have new reports coming in that the Saudis are preparing for an offensive on the Houthis themselves. It makes sense to me. Use your militias in Yemen to go soften up the Houthis. And then when the Houthis are weak enough that your intelligence assesses you can finish them off, you bring in your military, you bring in the other 14 countries that you formed a coalition with, and you destroy the Houthis once and for all. Conversely, that actually reduces America's leverage on Saudi Arabia, which is why we hear the nuclear deal being offered to Saudi Arabia, which does not allow them to build nuclear weapons as of now. We know that can change in the future, of course, but it's more along the lines of nuclear energy. Then, what's left? Hamas, they're getting slammed hard enough. In fact, airstrikes in Gaza are happening almost on the daily at the moment. So that leaves two. That leaves Afghanistan and Pakistan with the Zainabi and Fatimiyun militia groups. These guys, there's no way to stop them. Pakistan is never going to work to stop these groups. Afghanistan, who are you even going to talk to in there? Are you going to go negotiate with the Taliban? I'm not really sure about that. And actually, the Afghani militias are already operating here, which means our focus is Iraq. It all comes down to this. The call comes down to the next 4 weeks that we will be covering for you every single day. These things can kick off at any time. Al-Zaidi, remember when we were on stream and Al-Zaidi rolled tanks into Baghdad and started arresting people? That was out of absolutely nowhere. And I assume there will be another sort of operation just like that. Did I miss anything on the proxies here? I think that was pretty much everything that they can bring in.
No, this is pretty accurate. I do think the whole proxy leverage has been has been diminished significantly.
Correct.
Compared to before.
So one thing that isn't a proxy, maybe even an owner of the Islamic Republic, or sorry guys, partner if you're a supporter of the Islamic Republic, this is put out by Politico. CIA chief pressed Russia to cut support for Iran. Crazy. That's what we said as well, right before this article came out by them. The argument is that Russia has provided materials to the Islamic Republic that strengthen its drone production, its missile production, gave them intelligence to identify targets in U.S. bases, and they have economic ties. Ratcliffe, who went to Moscow, was asking them to basically back off or else. Now, the or else is yet to be seen. The U.S. has now issued two big threats, one to Moscow, to Putin, and the other to China, to Xi Jinping. These are merely threats at the moment, if you were to just look at them on paper. As good as they sound, they have not been backed up yet. Armin, what would the United States need to do to Russia and China for us to see some sort of success here?
To push them back in supporting the Islamic Republic?
Correct.
Yeah. So for Russia, you send them the head of the CIA to warn them regarding the consequences on what would happen to them if they continue to do so. Hopefully, they are not promising anything with Russia regarding Ukraine, because I don't want us to betray our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Hopefully, it's more of a threat rather than any rewards to Putin regarding Ukraine. But with the CCP, with China, it needs to be actually moving forward with punishing oil refineries and smaller financial institutions that are still finding ways to let the Islamic Republic sell the oil that it has, the 40 million barrels of oil that it has around Malaysia right now, sitting around Malaysia right now. That's what they need to do. And I don't know how Scott Bessent promised that that's what they're going to do. I hopefully they actually follow through, because I know that China has some leverage when it comes to its control over global supply chains, especially with rare earth minerals and other things. So they are able to push back in a way that other countries can't. We have to see how much damage the United States is willing to take to push this against these smaller Chinese companies. Because when it comes to bigger Chinese companies, they themselves will submit to United States, even if CCP doesn't, because they have so much business with US and US connected businesses that they make money from that is so much higher compared to what they make from the Islamic Republic. So they don't want to lose that. But there are smaller financial institutions and teacup refineries that their entire business model is to take advantage of the sanctions on the Islamic Republic to buy the oil that nobody else does, right? So these smaller companies are less worried about losing business from United States because their entire business is getting the Islamic Republic oil and find ways to go around the sanctions. And these are much more difficult for United States to stop, because with every other country, United States, everybody is using the US dollar system, and people are using the SWIFT system to basically to be able to transfer funds. So it's so easy for United States, much easier for United States to deal with that. Right, but with these smaller Chinese financial institutions and refineries, they're using other currencies and other mechanisms to move money, and that's why it's harder to punish them. And I don't know what Scott Bessent has planned to punish them, but I hope they actually are very aggressive about it, and we'll see in the upcoming days or months.
Right. So FDD just put out an article. So this is actually going to be by Saïd Hassanejad and Behnam Ben Taliblu, who released this article today. And according to what they think is going to happen is that the Treasury is going to be targeting the entire supply chain by targeting procurement agents, logistic firms, and payment companies. So these are the middlemen at which the joints of the businesses, everything has to pass through. How are you going to get the material, the logistics, how are they going to be moved, who's paying for things, et cetera, et cetera. That is the key. And that is what the Treasury's latest sanctions show Washington will be targeting. That is what their plan is. This will be tied to, where is it? Shipping, aviation, technology, gold, and digital assets, the 5 key sectors of the Islamic Republic's economy that was declared by Scott Bessent to be targeted from now on. The Chinese are going to have a tougher time helping them in these 5 industries. Gold and digital assets, you all know. Digital assets, for anyone who might not know, crypto, any sort of moving of money online digitally. Technology, you can assume that means a lot of military technology as well, aviation, airlines, and shipping. We all know shipping, oil, cargo, China to Iran. So these are what the Treasury is looking to target and how they're going to target it. And apparently they're going to target several things in different amounts as well, which also makes sense. All right. Here's the things that we haven't seen so far. So never before has the United States gone to Russia, gone to China, and threatened them to this extent. That hasn't happened before. The proxies have never been this weak before. The mentality of the IRGC supporters has never been this bad before. What is the strength? What is the strong point of the Islamic Republic right now? They have all these weaknesses. What is their strength at the moment?
Of the Islamic Republic?
Correct.
Oh, that's a very good question, Ali. The strength of the
We always
Islamic
cover their
Republic.
weaknesses. I'll start off with one of them. That they don't need that many people with guns to kill Iranian people.
Okay. That they can afford to care about nothing else other than survival. And they're not answerable to anybody other than themselves. So that's why they could tolerate pain more than democratic countries, because they're answerable to nobody but themselves. And survival and only survival is the metric for success. And everything else could be sacrificed for their cause, for that. That's their strength.
And so to get rid of their strength, which is tied to weapons here and their survival,
that would come, Ali. That's a very good question that you asked. That means their strength is their ability to sacrifice everything else, right? Because nothing else matters. So their ability, the fact that they're not answerable to anybody, and nothing matters more than their survival of the Islamic regime, that means that their ability to sacrifice everything and increases their pain tolerance, because the pain of the people is not their pain. Given that the pain of the people is not their pain, that means that their pain tolerance is high, because the pain of the people doesn't get transferred to them. At least not in a way that in democratic country does. Yeah.
Correct. Any other regime, they would have changed leadership 10 times by now, administrations 10 times. They're one of the few governments that don't care if its people are massacred or if its infrastructure is destroyed, if most of its government officials are killed. So what you just said reveals their weakness as well. If only thing they care about is them being overthrown as a government, and if the biggest threat to that is the Iranian people, because we don't see a million US troops on the borders of Iran, do we? That's not possible for the US to march on Tehran and take over. It's wildly out of the question. The Iranian people are the only people who can do this. The US knows that without a doubt, whether they want to admit it or not. That is why when the Iranian people come out, the U.S. cannot afford or would ever sit by and do nothing. The question is, how much are they willing to do? To what extent are they willing to go? And so, if the regime only cares about being overthrown and the only thing stopping them from being overthrown is their guns on the street, you can respond to force with force. Another thing that is being, or another aircraft carrier is being sent to the Middle East here, the USS Theodore Roosevelt that we're telling you. We now have information. So this is the San Diego aircraft carrier that we've been covering for a couple of weeks here, the USS Theodore Roosevelt. We now have confirmation that they are set to deploy for at least 7 months, making a very long deployment for them. Again, we covered they're going to leave as soon as their flight deck repaves, I guess, the non-slip proofing. They're getting that replaced. They also put in an order for 32,000 uniforms. So as long as those arrive, they're good to go. And it looks like maybe they have arrived or they are done as this news come out. A third aircraft carrier in the region boosts their firepower. And Armin, a lot of people say, well, the U.S. is going to bring all this, but it's just for pressure. They're not going to actually use it. Where have we heard that before?
We did hear that right before February 28th when they killed Khamenei and a whole bunch of regime leaders, right before Operation Epic Fury started. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but they shouldn't be confident about that analysis, because they were saying this the same time. They were saying this exactly right before Midnight Hammer, right before Operation Epic Fury. That's what people were guessing, and they ended up being wrong. So even if that's your analysis, you have to be skeptical about it.
Yeah, it's one of the many things. Another question, let's just go with logic here. Would it make a lot of sense for the U.S. to let the Islamic Republic off the hook when it's the weakest they've ever been? Just strategically speaking, every time the Islamic Republic has shown weakness, the U.S. does something against them. I don't think this time would be any different. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the map here. We hope that was
can you go back? Can you go back to that? Can you go back to that picture? Do you think that is that being so? Theodore Roosevelt deployed to the Middle East for at least 7 months. This is replacing, like you said. You mentioned that this is replacing something. No.
So the George Washington replaced the Abraham Lincoln.
But isn't this also going to replace something else at some point?
The George Bush has been there for only a few months, so it's highly unlikely. This could be a third to stay.
Because I don't know if I remember this correctly, but I heard that this is also replacing something else, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, but let's keep an eye.
That could be the case. I mean, we could hear that. That can obviously be the case. But here's the bad scenario is you don't have 3 aircraft carriers, you have 2. The plus side is that they're fresh and ready to go. Okay. So guys, I hope that was a comprehensive overlook at the situation here. Now let's get into the smaller points that we want to cover. And then we'll get into our allogram section. All right. There's a new deal on the table between, I know, don't get PTSD. There's a new deal between Venezuela and the United States. Axios is reporting the U.S. is close to striking a massive deal for Venezuelan oil fields. Why? Because the strategic oil reserves for the United States are historically at a 50-year low, meaning that we got to replenish those, and buying Saudi oil is not enough. Venezuela is one such place that we can look to. One problem, their infrastructure is old. It would take a bit to replenish that and get their oil fields flowing. People are saying, oh yeah, we could add another, few dozen million barrels a day because Venezuela is right in our own backyard and they have so much oil. That's true, but we got to build that infrastructure first. It's not just laying around. Dictators don't have a good tendency to, keep up the infrastructure of their country. And that is something that Trump would absolutely love to see. Other than that, Trump got asked today, hey, you talked to Putin. Is Putin going to attack Russia? Because that's the question right now. Is Putin going to attack Russia? And we'll talk about that for just a second. Let's see what he has to say first.
Why has Putin agreed or committed to not attacking a NATO territory?
I've had good talks with him. He's not going to be attacking a NATO territory.
Mr. President,
I've had
Say
good
it
talks
again?
with him. I've had good talks with Putin. He's not going to be attacking a NATO country. You want to hear that again?
No. Okay, just to be fair, I mean, I'm very grateful to everything President Trump has done, and for the Iranian people. However, President Trump has said many times that Putin is not going to do something, and then he did it. Okay, and same with the CCP. So if that's by to go by, like maybe he wasn't before and now he is. I don't know. I'm just kidding, but I don't. Yeah, do not trust Putin. Do not trust Putin. Putin will only trust Putin in the sense that trust that he will backstab you and he will violate any deals or agreements that you have with him.
Exactly.
So
some people say that Radcliffe showed Putin the true numbers. Maybe Putin was actually not being told how many casualties Russia has, et cetera, these type of rumors. And that some people were able to persuade Putin, maybe attacking NATO is a bad idea, that's what the CIA did. We can always count on dictators like Putin and others to just simply not care about these type of trivial things like losing 750,000 troops, over 1.5 million casualties. Will he attack NATO? Will he attack Europe? Completely in the benefit of the US to do this, to be honest with you. It's not a bad thing. It's probably just the timing of it that the United States wants to push off for a bit. Be probably very beneficial if Putin attacks Europe maybe just a few months from now and just not right now. Maybe just wait another 4 or 5 months and then do it. That could also be a signal that was going on. That's what I think on that matter. Without getting too much more into it. But while we're in Europe at the moment, fun fact, Bank Melli, the national bank of the Islamic Republic, has a fully functioning branch in Hamburg in Germany. According to reports today, people were able to walk inside that branch and conduct their business as per usual. It's open for business. It's kind of strange. I was hoping that would be closed by now, and should be closed, hopefully, within days. Here are the list of the branches of Bank Melli around the world. We're going to be focusing on a couple here in the eastern part of the world, from Russia to China. Not only are these their branches, but they're associated bank branches as well. So Bank Saderat, Bank Tijarat, Millat, Mir, all of these banks are tied to the Islamic Republic, and they are all ones that have to go from Athens to Minsk to Moscow, Istanbul, Kabul, Baku, Beijing, Seoul, Hong Kong, and even down here in Labuan.
the one in Germany is still operating, which is pathetic. Did you know people went and tested the Bank Melli in Germany? You can still today go and open an account there. Like, I don't know what the hell's happening. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. I don't think the Europeans are really taking this, the European governments are really taking this seriously, or at least the Germany law isn't. These are all things that need to go. I showed this clip earlier, but I'm going to show you guys once again. This is a video that came out yesterday in Iran. These are men who ordered vehicles from the car company, and they were told that, hey, sorry, we're just not going to give you your cars anymore. Economy, oil, imported things. Sorry, no more cars. These people paid for their cars and they were getting them, and look at their reactions to it, trying to break down the door. That's a little bit of a taste, in my opinion, of things to come here.
Imagine spending all your money to be able to get that, and now you're not even getting that. Like, that is insane.
But it's particularly important because at the moment your currency is worthless. Cars appreciate in value. Cars are a form of currency. These guys spend all their money, and now they're in their lifeline. What they planned around is just up and it's just gone. It's gone. It's completely gone. And all that money they got, gone.
Yeah. A lot of people, this is their life savings. Because there's no other place to put your money. Like, they don't give you, there's no stocks, there's nothing, so you just buy assets like phones and cars and stuff like that. And then now you're not even getting that. Oh, we got a Go trophy. Thank you.
Oh. And Scott Bessent posted today saying, as the Iranian people struggle to afford basic necessities, the corrupt regime continues to squander enormous sums abroad. Instead of funneling billions of dollars to its terrorist proxies, the regime should spend that money for its people. Well said, Scott Bessent, and that was echoed by Prince Reza Pahlavi, who said, Scott Bessent is right. The only way we can end this is to end the Islamic Republic. So let's go back and see. Actually, we could probably just find out right now. Let's go to Qalibov. Where is he? Is it this one? Is it this one?
That one.
Ah, there it is. So his response to Scott Bessent was, instead of funneling billions to its terrorist proxy, Israel, and 750 bases, this failing empire, he's referring to the United States, could spend that cash on its own people. But nah, that made too much sense for this regime. Scotty, man, your credibility is on the line. Do something.
Okay, so
that is his response.
Okay, so Ali, that is not his response. He did not write a single word of that tweet. There's no there's no way that he had anything to do with this post. Okay,
zero chance.
Somebody who thinks he's very cool and is somebody in the US is writing his tweets for him, and whoever that guy is, we exposed who the guy is. We know his name. Whoever that guy is,
he lives in California.
He lives in California, and he thinks he's very cool. Can you go back to that tweet, because there's something funny about this? So instead of funneling billions to his terrorist proxy, which is, this is projection. He's just taking everything that we say about the Islamic Republic and just they're flipping it, right?
Yep.
So that's what we say about terrorist proxy Israel and 750 bases. This failing empire could spend that cash on its own people. All right. So first of all, Israel is not a U.S. proxy. Israel is not terrorist, and the United States doesn't funnel. Funnel is what criminals do. You do that, okay? It doesn't funnel billions of dollars to Israel. Israel doesn't even get the $4 billion that Israel gets. It's a discount on the weapons that Israel buys from the United States, because they're such a good ally and because they use those weapons to kill United States enemies, right? So Israel doesn't even, it's not charity, it's a discount on weapon sales, which produces jobs in the United States, right? So if you care about American jobs, Israel's discount on buying American weapons is actually producing American jobs and also killing United States enemies. The 750 bases is actually a sign that it's not a failing empire, because none of those bases was made without the consent of the countries who wanted them, which is a demonstration that countries want the security the United States military has to provide, which shows that it's not failing, and it's not even an empire because it has been done with consent, unlike empires. All of those bases have been built in these countries with consent, which means that it's not an empire and it's not failing, because if it was failing, why do people want the US military's protection in their country? Why do they want those bases there? And they say could spend that cash on its own people. They are spending that cash on their own people because it's the US military and the bases all around the world that is the backbone of international maritime trade, which wouldn't be possible without US military presence around the world at the level that we're saying that today. So not only that makes the standard of living of Americans possible because the United States is present over there, it makes the standard of living of everybody everywhere in the world possible because the United States is present everywhere in the world. I'm saying, but nah, again, Ghalibaf doesn't even know English. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know how to talk like that, right? But nah, that makes too much sense for this regime. You know, let's flip this script, okay? Instead of the Islamic Republic funneling billions to its terrorist proxies of Hashd Shabi, Kataib Hezbollah, Kataib and Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis and Fatimiyyun and Zainabiyun, right? And trying to, in their own words, export the revolution all around the world and then dominate the planet and bring everybody under Islamic rule, this failing wannabe empire could spend that cash on its own people. But nah, that wouldn't even save them because it's too late. The best they could do to save their own people would be to die.
That would be the best option, yeah. Especially this guy posting this tweet, and whoever really posted it.
Oh, and here's the last line. Sorry, the last line. It's saying, Scotty, man, your credibility is on the line. Do something. I would want to say the same thing to you, but that wouldn't be accurate because you have no credibility for it to be on the line. There you go.
One of the most hated people in the Islamic Republic, Ghalibaf, ladies and gentlemen, people. Maybe the most? I don't know. So let's head into the Persian Gulf for just a second, and let's start off with the fact that Qatar is hurting a little bit in celebration. So Qatar is actually, they had their economy shrink 9% in the past, I think about 6 months, and they're crying uncle. They're making meetings with the UAE and Saudi Arabia and the US to see what they could possibly do about the situation. United Arab Emirates is also not very happy about their money situation. They're hurting a little bit as well. And so something that's never happened before actually occurred today between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. So the president of the United Arab Emirates got on the right there. He actually made some drama in the Arab world today. He wrote a letter, handwritten, and he went around Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the guy on the left, and he gave it directly to Mohammed bin Salman's daddy, King Salman. He's 90 years old. And that is a huge signal. Huge signal. So the Emiratis felt like they had no other choice. They went straight to the top. Saudi Arabia's crown prince is incredibly furious. Remember, he's very egotistical. He's very fragile in his personality here. This is going to hurt him like few other things have. And it also comes as a rejection of the fact that Mohammed bin Salman earlier this week told the UAE, hey, listen, you guys are beneath me. I'm not going to talk to you directly. I'll send my brother, the defense minister, Khalid, to come talk to your guys. And the president of the UAE was like, no, you did not. You know what? I'm going to go straight to the top. You don't talk to me like that. You don't send your defense minister to come talk to me. That is the drama. Ooh, guys, I know, right?
Wow.
So, to some actual important news here. Bloomberg, told you guys yesterday, Bloomberg put out a headline article, in my opinion. They said that the DOJ of the United States Department of Justice is actually working to revive a judicial mechanism that dates back to the Civil War era. What their aim is to do with this is to grab Islamic Republic oil tankers. Now, we know a lot of them are sitting right here off the coast of Sri Lanka. They still haven't moved. I'm watching them to see if they're coming back to Iran or not. They're still there. A lot of them will still also be sitting right here next to Karg Island. If the US seizes these, that's billions of dollars that they could potentially give to yours truly, Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, to fund the resistance to fight against the Islamic Republic. But they're citing that they would like to take it as spoils of war for themselves to recoup their costs. We'll see if that actually ended up happening. Open this up. That would be a little bit of a piracy accusation leveled at the US there. So, let me just take a second. Oh, I forgot. Of course. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, today Israel struck the outskirts of Damascus, the capital city of Syria, with 2 artillery shells. The aim and the target was unclear. Happened somewhere around here in this area. And that is not going to be... You guys can expect us to talk about Turkey, Syria, and Israel in the coming days. That is not going to leave Erdogan happy whatsoever. Let me see if there's any updates on that right now. Nope, that was it. Yep. 2 artillery shells that struck the outskirts of the Syrian capital today. All right, let's get into allegrams. He's been waiting long enough for this. Let's get into the newspaper first.
Ooh, I love this part. You know,
The
from
newspapers.
The newspapers are the favorite part of my favorite part of the allegrams. Well, I don't know. They're all so good. I can't actually decide. Never mind. But it's one of the best parts.
That's good. I'm glad you like it. So this is Kayhan, the most important one, the most important newspaper. Let's see what their headlines are saying. What does that say?
So Kayhan, guys, is from Shariat Madari, which is handpicked by the Supreme Leader. So this is a newspaper that represents the views of the Office of the Supreme Leadership, right? So it's saying پاسخ محاصره اقتصادی ایران حمله به منافع حیاتی آمریکا در منطقه. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So it's saying in response, the proper response to the economic blockade of the United States is to attack the essential resources of United States in the region. Basically, this newspaper is advocating for hitting like data centers, for example, like Amazon or I don't know, Tesla or whatever data centers or anything American in the Arab countries around the Persian Gulf. That's what it is.
Well, that was pretty straightforward. Well, yeah, there we go. We just take that. Looks like they are going to. I mean, they talk about this all the time. They're like, we have to do something eventually. We can't just bleed dry. So that's the most important newspaper there. Let's go check out a couple of these other ones. Oh, we see Donald Trump and Scott Bessent. What could this possibly say? Armin, could you enlighten us here?
عقلانیت انقلابی در مذاکره which one? پادشاه لخ شد. Okay, the king is now naked. So this is in reference to the story of the king with
Emperor's new clothes.
The Emperor's New Clothes story. Yes. So basically, they're saying that Trump is exposed, that he has now everybody can see that he has nothing left.
Reading the messages, the Islamic Republic is reporting that Trump is having a national energy emergency. They're playing on some propaganda here. I'll actually show you that exact post that I pulled up as well. So they're having things not exactly portrayed. Oh, wait, this is interesting. I actually didn't see this one before. What does that say? دولت مردم ایران.
No,
Oh.
دولت مردم Iran.
Yeah.
So there's commas in between. So اگه لازم باشه اقدامات پیش دستانه انجام میدهیم. So yeah, I don't know
preemptive
what the
strikes.
context, but yes. So I think دولت مردم. Okay, so this seems to be a reformist newspaper.
Yeah.
Because it's putting the government, the executive branch, the people, and Iran in the same line. So this is a pro-Pezeshkian newspaper.
That's garbage. Let's check this out.
شمارش معکوس اخراج آمریکا از منطقه. So this newspaper is saying the countdown for the Americans leaving the region has started. We're going to get rid of them.
You know, you would think if you're an Islamic Republic supporter, you're hearing, where was the Trump one? You're hearing, okay, Trump, you know, he's in a tough spot right now. He's losing. American troops are about to leave. All these things. That's what you're hearing. That's what you're hearing, which is terrible. It's just not the truth at all.
Yeah. I mean, this is the war between the TV and the fridge that we always talk about. That's the TV. And the fridge is all the videos of the Iranian people who are showing that they have no food. Have you seen you've seen all the videos coming out since yesterday, Ali,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So many Iranians are recording what they can afford to eat, and it's devastating. It's so hard to watch. And Ali, we have to tell people this, right? So in the past 24 to 48 hours, a lot of Iranians are just taking pictures and videos of their food that they're eating to show how little they can afford. And there's two things that you need to know about this. One, this is very unusual for Iranian culture. Iranians when I was in Iran, everybody tried to save face, meaning that you don't show that you can't afford things. That's embarrassing. That's not something people used to share. And now so many people are now sharing that because it's just so common that people are like not embarrassed anymore to share that, right? That's one. Two, a lot of Americans need to know this. I watched a lot of these videos coming out of Iran showing how bad the conditions are in Iran. And you might think as an American that some of them would be angry of America because of the economic blockade that is leading into this. Not a single video that I have seen blames the United States. Every single one of them that does have a blaming at the end, they curse the Islamic Republic. And Ali, I don't think this has ever happened in history. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong. Correct me, guys, in the chat if I'm wrong about this. Never in history have you had the people in the middle of a war suffering because of that war, not blaming the country that their state is at war with, but blaming their own state instead. Have you ever seen anything like this? I haven't seen, like, historically, when two governments are at war, the people of one under the rule of one supports their government, and the people under the rule of another support their government. And if they're experiencing hardship, they blame the foreign enemy. I've never seen at this level so many people within a country not blaming the government of the country that is a foreign country, but they blame their own in the middle of the war. They're blaming their own regime that is ruling over them. Every single one of these videos, every single one of them, at the end of it, after they show what they could eat, they say "Nang bad bar Jumhuriye Ishali." That's what they say. Or Sharm bar Jumhuriye Ishali. Every single, like, most of them also say Jumhuriye Ishali, not Jumhuriye Islami.
I think the closest situation is probably to compare is Nazi-occupied France and Mullah-occupied Iran. They're probably the closest.
But that's
I think.
France. But that's France. You consider the Nazis to be a foreign occupier. But that's Ali. That's 100% correct, because it shows how much Iranians see this regime as not Iranian. Like, because for France, people are like, we'll get it. Well, the Nazis are foreign occupiers, right? So that's why the Iranian people curse the regime, because they consider them to be foreign occupiers, not of this land.
Correct. And so this propaganda, and great points there. And guys, so propaganda is getting even worse. Look at this post by the Islamic Republic state media. They put an outline of Trump here, and then they say this. They say that Trump is having a national energy emergency. So the US president issued an executive order declaring a national emergency from foreign actors against the country's power grid. This was that the power plants that we saw in Michigan, the water plants, the cyber attacks that were they put them out of commission for like a few hours or something. And they're running with this story and saying that, oh my God, look at that. Look how afraid Donald Trump is. Look at how reliable they are, how much they rely on this, and how much we are able to damage them. These are the things that the average regime supporter hears. U.S. troops are about to leave. Donald Trump's under heavy pressure. The emperor's new clothes leaves him naked. I arrived to a conclusion today. I think that the Islamic Republic's whole goal, and this might be just really obvious to a lot of people, but it's just one of those simple things that never clicked to me, I guess, or I never thought about. They're trying to paint the situation as this point is the worst point it will ever be. No matter how much worse it gets, to be like, oh no, this is the worst it'll get. This is the worst it'll get for you regime supporters. We promise it won't get worse than this as it goes worse than that. And that's why we see so many messages of them waking up.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the first allogram where we go into the IRGC group chats and grab the messages indicative of supporters' points and moods. The first one saying a completely ridiculous and stupid statement. So the CIA director went to Moscow. The Islamic Republic supporters are all over it. And they're saying, oh, well, if they ran to negotiate with Putin, if he wanted to attack NATO, we need to attack one of the NATO member countries. We, the Islamic Republic, need to attack NATO member countries, which would be an unpredictable move for the Americans. And we need to target a few of the NATO countries' leaders. This way, we will open the way for Russia on this front. And by spreading the war to Europe, the focus of the United States will be removed from sieging us, the Islamic Republic.
Somebody put this man in charge, please. Holy crap! Somebody put this man. Like, get Europe involved. Yeah, that's a genius idea. We've been trying to get Europe involved forever. Yes, more create more. Like, what? Ali, I think this guy is with us. I think he's trying to plan something. I think he's with us. He's trying to be like, hey guys, let's get Europe involved in this war as well, huh? That would obviously work in our favor. Sure.
Yep.
Yes.
They have the capability.
Try.
They can strike Europe. They have the missiles and the range to do it.
Guys,
this guy's like, why not?
Like, guys, we don't want anyone in Europe to get hurt. I hope if they do this, Europe is get to intercept us or something like that. But if Europe intercepts this and nobody in Europe gets hurt, but it drags your NATO finally into this, sure. You know, if nobody gets hurt in Europe, I'm all for this.
Yeah. So there we have the master plan of the Islamic Republic on show for you guys. But if you guys didn't watch the beginning portion of our show, we actually have a comprehensive breakdown of the entire situation with Iran. Something that we haven't done for a little bit. We have our next one. Ladies and gentlemen, we tell you the Islamic Republic is getting caught red-handed by their own supporters, by their own people. Here it is. Farce News reports this ridiculous post. Let me just show you this real quick, okay? So you can see how stupid and ridiculous this is. The state media reports, we discovered a 3,500 meter pipeline that transports smuggled fuel off the coast of Bandar Lenge in the south of Iran. Armin, how easy is it to just hide a 3,500 meter pipeline that smuggles fuel for months? Who could possibly do such a thing?
I think you're just random average smuggler who should be able to carry out
Mm.
operations like that, you know?
Are you
Just
sure
like-
it's not the Islamic Republic?
No. I think
No?
everybody
Okay,
could do
okay.
that. Like, average smugglers should have access to pipelines and could operate like this for years without anybody noticing. For
Mm.
sure. Easy.
So you're not saying, but what's not happening is that right now, because they're under pressure, they're going in saying, "Aha, we caught the smugglers. Now the gas situation is going to get better." They wouldn't.
No.
You know.
Yes.
No. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
Ali,
stupid.
are you accusing the IRGC of running these operations themselves and stealing this from the Iranian people? I mean, they would never.
Of course not. Of course not, brother.
They would never do such a thing. Come on.
So many of these stories are coming out. Let me refresh this so I can translate for that as well.
Don't be ridiculous, guys.
There it is. And in a separate post, the media also reported a fraudster of 10 trillion tomans was arrested in Urmia. Not billion, trillion. So in West Azerbaijan, which is one of the provinces of Iran, the police commander came out with a statement today. He said, we got a lot of reports that citizens are being defrauded when they buy goods from this certain company or this certain person. The checks are getting bounced. And so, yeah, our officers got on it. And then we just suddenly found the suspect. We identified him and we found him just like that. We arrested him and we interrogated him and he just told us everything. He told us, yeah, I actually have 90 serial fraud cases in different provinces of Iran worth 100 trillion rials. So we just gave him over to the judicial authorities. Oh, wow, police, that's great. I wonder who could have smuggled 100 trillion toman. You just caught him just like that. And, this guy's supposed to be a master criminal. And you just caught him just like that. And he confessed to everything straight away without having a lawyer. And now he's going to the judicial authorities. So he's safe at the moment, I guess. But, that's super weird. Armin, could that be maybe like an IRGC, rich guy or something like that?
So I think these are operations that the IRGC allowed to happen as long as they got their cut. But now that money is tight, they're going after these operations that they were allowing to happen because they're using them as piggy banks and they're just breaking these piggy banks. That's what they're doing. And while they're breaking the piggy banks, at the same time, they're virtue signaling as them going after crime. But this was all being done under the eyes and allowed, it was being done with their blessing. Yeah.
That's pretty traitorous talk in the Islamic Republic, Armin. I don't know. You're saying that they would allow corruption and then catch the corruption or sell out their own people and then use their money when they need it?
Yeah.
Oof. I don't know.
This is, by the way, you deserve. This should be, Ali, this works in the short term for the IRGC, right? Because they need money and they go now and basically take the money away from the people who are working with the IRGC. But long term, this would be a lesson to people who work with the IRGC. because one day they're going to come for you and you deserve it.
Yeah.
Smash the piggy.
And let's get into right. So, guys, remember, now people are calling out the regime, saying, if you want to build something in your backyard, the government will find out. So how could you lay a pipeline without anyone noticing? Who is behind these betrayals that they're so high up that they can't be arrested or identified? Yeah. Isn't that weird? The pipeline, they're smuggling all this fuel for so long. We don't know who it is. The Islamic Republic won't say. Maybe it's someone from within the regime. Crazy idea.
Say it ain't so, Ali. Say it ain't so. My heart cannot take that.
And our next one is... So, the Wall Street Journal today, as we guys told you, said that Trump has actually no desire to go back to the MOU because, of course, the U.S. controls the Strait of Hormuz. So, and he said, they're saying, okay, this is probably better in Farsi here. The translation's a little bit weird. Okay, could you read this for us, please?
Yes. Wait, چرا برگرده? Wait, what is this in response to? Can you go up a little bit? Okay. Wall Street Journal, Trump تمایل به بازگشت. Okay, so Wall Street Journal was reporting that Trump has no interest in going back to the MOU. So this person is saying چرا برگرده؟ فقط گیر تنگه هرمز بود. Oh, this guy's agreeing with my analysis at the beginning of the show. Saying چرا برگرده؟ فقط گیر تنگه هرمز بود که الان کشتی داره رد میشه. ما هم نگاه میکنیم. اون موقعی که مذاکره جریان داشت تندروها فشار آوردن که حمله بشه، هم کشتی میزدیم هم هلیکوپتر آمریکا. الان که تحریم شدیم حرف نمیزنیم چون کاسب تحریمن رسایی نبویان ثابتی و بیشرفان. So guys, this is a pro-regime person that is anti the pro-tension people. So okay,
he wants to de-escalate.
He's saying, yes. So he's saying, why would Trump want to go back to the MOU? So this guy thinks that they should have stayed with the MOU. They screwed up, that they increased tensions, and now the Americans don't want to go back to the MOU because it wouldn't make sense for the Americans to go back to the MOU. Saying, why would Trump go to the MOU? The only issue they had was the Strait of Hormuz, and now ships are moving, and we're just watching them. When the negotiation was happening, these radicals, meaning the pro-tension people, these radicals were pressuring us that we need to attack. We were hitting ships and American helicopter. Now we're under sanctions. Now that we're under sanctions, we can't even say anything. Why? Because these people are making money from the sanctions. So he's saying when we were negotiating, they were asking for more tension. Now that we're under these sanctions, they're not talking anymore. Why? This guy has a conspiracy theory. He's saying because they want attention, because they make money from the sanctions. And now they're not saying anything anymore. And people like Rasoi, Nabavian, and Sabati, these are the people who did this, that put us in this condition. And he's saying, Bisharafo, dishonorable, swearing at them. So guys, this is a pro-regime person that considers the people within the regime to be for escalation, to be traitors that are making money off of sanctions. So this person is probably pro-Ghalibaf, pro-Pezeshkian, pro-Hassan Khomeini, but anti-Rasai, Sabati, and Nabavian. Does that make sense?
Yep, that was perfectly said.
Yeah.
So, just as we told you that Donald Trump doesn't want to go back to the MOU, we told you that that guy in that small picture, the Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council, Mohsen Rezai, also said, we are only going back to the MOU if we are going to go talk to the Americans. And so this person, this regime supporter, is saying, you're just saying you're just saying Zart. First, act on what you say. Mohsen Rezai says, we exported 80... Oh, by the way, Armin, I missed this. The Islamic Republic today said that we exported 80 million barrels of oil since the war ended. That's Zart. So this guy's saying Mohsen Rezai says we exported 80 million barrels of oil, and the president says that we didn't export any oil. The central bank head says that we didn't export any oil. So you guys have lies and differences amongst yourselves. Which one of you should the people believe? What deterrent did you create to the Americans? Did we suffer as many casualties, or did we inflict as many casualties on the enemy as the however much they were inflict on us? Which of the 10 conditions of the supreme leader were fulfilled? Were we able to sink one of their ships? Didn't you say we would easily hit them and sink their ships, etc., etc.? Oh yeah, this is great.
That's great.
Case
Love this one. Good
this is a
find.
great one. That's the biggest point, is that some of them are saying, the supreme idiot at the moment of the Islamic Republic is saying, yeah, we exported a bunch of oil. Everyone else, the president, head of the central bank, we exported nothing. We don't have any money. Who's telling the truth? Which one of you should we believe? Why are you creating this mistrust environment within us regime supporters?
So there is 40 million barrels outside the blockade. Ali, do you know how that is all of that 40 million there from the time that US removed the blockade after the MOU was signed, or was there some before? So what I know, my understanding is that there's around, the Islamic Republic has around 40 billion barrels stuck in the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman area under the blockade, stuck there. And there's around another 40 million barrels that are already out, sitting around Malaysia right there in the sea, waiting for somebody to buy them, right? So that 40 million that is out there, when did I get there? Was that all of them from the signing of the MOU?
I think a lot of it was actually already there from when the Islamic Republic was exporting its oil already. But then when the blockade was lifted, I think they got only maybe 20 million barrels out.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, so there's, guys, right now there's about 80 million barrels sitting on the open seas that's already outside the Strait of Hormuz, near the Pacific, between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific. That is what they're using as propaganda, being like, we exported all of that. No, a lot of that was already there. And that is everything you have. And it's not like you're selling all of it. That's 80 million barrels that's not sold. And good luck getting the money back to it. Donald Trump just posted this on Truth Social. He said, Iran is a failing nation. 25 minutes ago. All right.
I would say the Islamic Republic is a failing state. Because
yeah.
I would say that. I think the Iranian nation is standing up, is against tyranny for liberty, and they're getting more and more. The Iranian nation is getting stronger. Is the Islamic State that is getting weaker?
Look what this says.
دلار 200,000 تومانی میراث 5 دهه فساد ساختاری جمهوری اسلامی. بی تفاوت نباشیم. So somebody in Iran went to an ATM and put a sticker next to the ATM, say a 200,000 two-month dollar reaching that level, basically 2 million riyals, is the inheritance of 5 decades of corruption, of institutional corruption, structural corruption of the Islamic Republic. Do something. Don't just sit by. Don't be idle.
And the Islamic Republic is not just a failing state at the moment because they're running out of gas. there's a similar problem just north of Iran in Russia. This video is not Tehran. This is Moscow. This is the gas line in Moscow. All those cars, as far as the eye can see. We tell you guys that they've been running out of oil as well in Russia. A lot of the gas stations are running out. Probably not as fast as the Islamic Republic is running out, but they have some serious issues. Again, more weakness. These are all signs of weakness of if you are the United States of America. Why let up? Okay. With that, let's get into our super chats. We'll talk to you guys. And our first one, Don Payton. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Welcome on board.
Thank you. Welcome
Thank
to
you
our
very
group.
much. They also comment a lot under our videos. And thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And Sayed says,
thank you. Love you, Sayed.
okay, Magnum, hello. How's it going? And so Sayed says, Armin should win today. Don't forget to like the stream. Make sure to subscribe also. Sorry, Armin, I can't be here. Can't be here due to busy at work. I watch all the shows offline if I can't watch live. Almost there. Confetti. Wow, that was quite a lot.
Thank you, Sayed. Thank you. I love you, man.
7,
This is
8.
Ali.
That's
this
10.
was a record. That was 10, and it started before the show was started, and we got to confetti at the 1 minute mark. This is a new record for our show, and it's interesting because you got to confetti at the 6 minute mark, which is already very fast. It's really fast. It's incredibly fast, but we got to it at the 1 minute mark, which is crazy.
Oh man.
Thank you, Sayed.
guys in my chat, yeah, there we go. People are already saying it. I would never say that, but I guess some people are saying that's cheating. I don't think that's cheating, but some people are. It's just
yeah. Well,
damn,
guys,
with 10
say
super chats.
it is yes, 10 super. Yes. Guys, thank you, Sayed. That was pretty epic. Appreciate that.
That is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Fizz Endressist with a super chat saying, like and subscribe. Let's get added to 6,000 subs. How close are we actually to 6,000?
Yes, let's do it.
We are about 50 to 60 subs away from 6,000.
Guys, subscribe to Ali. Let's get him there.
60 away.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Fizz. Yeah, we're there. I still it's just weird to me. Look how much time has passed, guys. Remember when we used to all be young when I had 100 subs?
By the way, guys, can I do an advertisement now that we did this? Guys,
yeah.
This is we Liberty Politics helped Ali get from 0 to 6,000 in the shortest amount of time. Okay, and this is so if you are as good as Ali, you could join Liberty Politics, our discussion group, and then if we see that you have the potential, then you could join our panel, and then start your own YouTube channel in politics. As long as you're fighting for liberty, you could join our political panel. Here, let me actually show. So this is our Liberty Politics discussion group. So you see the potential in starting a channel and coming on Liberty Politics and then promoting it. So come join our discussion group if you're interested in talking about politics and you think you could be the next Ali Samani, and then we will try to get your voice out there to the world and promote your channel so that we could help you get an audience. So come join our discussion group and talk there. And then not only you could come to our discussion group as a way to get us to bring you on our panels to promote your channel. It's also a good place to practice speaking about politics, so that if you want to be a YouTuber and talking about politics, that's a good place to go and practice your speaking skills with other people and meet other people, find guests, find co-panelists for your own channel. And by the way, tomorrow is free, so tomorrow you could join and for free and and join our group calls. We have group calls every single day, but once every 3 days is 100% free, and everybody could join. And Ali, you have your group call tomorrow, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, mine are pretty cool.
So, yes, guys, join Ali's group calls and speak more often. So, don't make Ali speak all the time. Like, ask him questions or give him your opinions, okay? And his group calls are free and not recorded and not streamed, so it's private, and you could go talk to Ali over there. Again, I'll put the link of the discussion. Oh, I should give the other link. What am I doing, guys? Ignore that link. Use the link that has Ali's affiliate link on it. So here, I'll put the link again. Use this link. Okay. And the link is in the QR code at the top left as well. So.
People are gonna run with what you said about where'd it go? I think Leo said it. Where'd it go? Leo, where's your comment? It was like, you could be the next. Like, here's your audition. You could be the next.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Welcome back to Armin Idol.
Yes. New show, Armin Idol. Yes, exactly. Yes, we should name it that. Who the next Ali Samani? We should come up with a name for that. Who's gonna be the next Ali Samani?
No, we shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea.
Okay. We could turn it into a game show. Yes. And then people would vote. And then be like, yeah, I'm
anyway.
not telling. Yes. Let's do it. Yes. Guys, from 0 to 6,000. I'm just saying, from 0 to 6,000 subscribers in a short amount of time. I don't know. Your choice.
True. And our next one is from Joanne with the super sticker. Thank you very much, Joanne. Always trying to get us to confetti as soon as possible.
Yeah. Thank you, Joanne. Joanne is also always on the Persian channel, supporting us there. Just on the Persian channel, just there. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joanne. And Shauna, who says Prince Ali. I'm reading it like the Disney.
Prince Ali.
Fabulous Ali. Yeah.
There. Thank you, Shauna.
Thank you so much, Shauna. And Carolyn, Texas, who says Armin's already up 6 super chats. Let's go.
Let's go, Carolyn. This is for you, by the way, Ali. This is for you.
Oh, okay. Oof.
Yeah, she's supporting your chat. See, guys, see how supportive I am of people supporting Ali, but he's not supportive of people support. I'm like, yeah, let's go support Ali, but look at this. I'm a team player. I want him to win as well, but he doesn't want me to win.
Look, you guys are my chat is so organic. Everyone's, encouraging each other. It is not, one person doesn't just come in and send 10 super chats to get. I'm so glad for you.
See, he's still attacking me, even though I'm just supporting. Like, let's go, Ali's chat, was super chat, but he's still attacking me. See, I'm actually a nicer
person. Guys, don't be fooled. Armin's employing the idea of be the teapot, be the cup, be the water that flows, and just bend and morph and change your ideals constantly.
What? I'm confused.
Okay, moving on. Bruce Lee said that once. Anyway. And Fizz Endricist with the super sticker. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you all so much for always sending super chats and super stickers. It's always really appreciated. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Gracious.
And Shauna, who says, gracious. Oh, Prince Ali, gracious is he. What was another one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I had that song stuck in my head for years. And now it's back.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Shauna, for the super chat.
Nail Bunny.
And Nail Bunny.
Nail Bunny.
Whenever
Always
you see a super chat from Nail Bunny and you hear like or you see a ... you know there's a bunch of super chats coming. I can't speak. You got this.
Time for
Confetti.
confetti. Woo! We got it. Thank you, Nail Bunny.
Thank you, Nail
Let's
Bunny.
go. Thank you, Nail Bunny. Love you.
And Black Cat, who says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to
Black
you.
Cat is also a major supporter of mine now. Thank you, Black Cat. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. Consistent
Welcome.
supporter.
Thank you, Black Cat. And Amir, who's kept the score for us. It's 16 to 10.
16.
Oh. Well, we're back to 6 days down, guys. I don't know.
Okay.
Can't let them run away with it, right, guys?
Yeah. No.
No, Sean, it's not your fault. It's just,
Uh,
I don't know. Maybe I'll get it out of my head soon. Did you guys actually know the best way to get a song out of your head is by listening to that song on repeat?
no, it's by listening to another song.
You can also do that. Yeah.
That's faster.
And maybe. And Bill Kennedy with our next super chat, who says, make a deal with China for cheap oil if the regime changes. So if we have a free Iran, it's to the benefit of China, so they can get cheaper oil. Actually, it's going to be the opposite. So China is going to get more expensive oil from Iran when the regime is free. They won't be sold at a discount anymore.
We're going to sell market price. No more discounts for you, CCP.
No more discount.
Suck it. So guys, I say
Thank you, Bill
CCP
Kennedy.
because I don't want to insult Chinese people. Love you, Chinese
True.
people. Our war is with the CCP, okay? Not with you. We love you. Also, that's why sometimes I try to remember to say Putin, not Russia, okay? Because I know we have Russian allies here. I know we have Russian people who support our cause. So sometimes I try to remember to say Putin, CCP, okay? Yes.
True. And Clearism says, Ali, I'm a fan of your show prep skills. Thank you. I'm trying my best. I try to constantly make it better. And Armin's like, you probably already squeezed the lemon as much as you can. Why don't you just like make like videos on the side or something? I'm like, but yeah, which is right. You're right. But
It's called diminishing marginal returns, right? So at some point when you're squeezing a lemon, you have to decide, should I keep squeezing this lemon or go to the next lemon? And I mean, I'm not saying don't improve, obviously. You're doing really, but you have done so great that I think like look at now in other areas, like in edited videos, short videos, and see if you could improve that. Thumbnails. Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you, Clearism. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. And Joanne with a super sticker as well, or super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
and
Joanne.
Joanne also said confetti.
Confetti. This was crazy. You got to it at the 6 minutes mark. That was pretty fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Fizz. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you guys for always being there every day. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
I keep thinking, like, how can I repay people? But then I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is how.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Joanne. And Sarah, who says, "Booses on both your heads. Javid Shah."
This is back.
Merci.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That reminds me of
Sarah,
something.
Eshti.
Guys, a new phrase for any of you wondering. Dust on your head. This is our new phrase from now on. So in Farsi, there's a phrase called khak tu saret, which, what does that mean?
Okay. It means dirt be upon your head, which is not at all the first thing that came to my mind, Sarah, when I read your message. Just saying.
But when you say from now on, be like dust on your head.
Yes.
And thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate
Thank you,
that
sir.
super chat. And Fizz, thank you so much for the super sticker.
Thank you, Fizz.
Thank you, Fizz.
Thank you, Fizz.
And
It's
Joanne, oh yeah,
confetti.
said confetti. Thank you so much. And Ehef, who says, stopped traffic due to long lines provides a good box in and ambush points. Wow. What a dark method of thinking. But it's also, I mean,
it's not wrong.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, you also run into the problem that police have, where if they do pull out their firearm, like police do, and they start using it, they have to be mindful of who is in the line of fire. If there's a criminal on the street, are there other people on the street? I think there's going to be a ton of people in heavy traffic like that. Yeah, it's a problem. Thank you, Ehef. Good suggestion.
Yeah.
And Bill Kennedy, who says, will the United States or Israel provide air support for the uprising? Well, we kind of got into it previously.
Yeah.
I think yes. I think it would be ridiculous of them to let that opportunity go by. Both on a political level and a strategic level, would be not smart for them not to do this.
True.
Thank you, Bill, for the question there. Always good questions. And Grandma says, or Kay's grandma says, tanks are practice for the United States Air Force. We have a ton of Apache and A-10s that just rolled in over the past few months. Wonder what those could be used for.
Practice for the Americans to come in.
Target practice. Yeah. Thank you, Kay's grandma.
Woohoo! Go Trophy! Go Trophy!
Go Trophy. Thank you so much, Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne.
Guys, is that a goat or is that a cow? I'm not really
It's
sure.
Mr. Goat. I don't know. Okay, you know what? The name is Mr. Goat. Okay, whatever you want to say. The name is Mr. Goat.
I don't know. Thank you, Joanne. And Black Cat, who says, not a good idea to project what movement of U.S. military and naval assets mean. Most are just rotations. My pushback is, Black Cat, they could be a rotation, could not be. And I wasn't saying that this is what it means. I'm saying it could mean that they will use this military power, because the last time they brought it, they used it.
But that's an interesting point, because that could be, it could also just be rotation, so we have to consider that. So
yeah. Thank you, Black Cat, for the super chat, and SAR with the goat trophy as well.
Goat trophy.
The goat.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sar, for the jewels. And last Magi with the 250 jewels. What movie is that from again? The
Wilson! Castaway.
Castaway. Gotcha.
Wilson!
Thank you for the jewels. And James Moore says, I heard there was a meeting of the IDC. I heard they served fresh kotlets. I have a healthy lemon tree. That last part was a little cryptic. What is the IDC?
I don't know what's the IDC. Help us, guys. Help us. James likes to always give us messages like this, and he enjoys watching us try to figure it out. Hold on, let me. You know what? I have an AI gem specifically designed for this. Why am I not even using it? Hold on, I got this. I got this. 1 second. I have a super chat decoder designed to decode cryptic messages like this. Okay.
Iranian Dinner Club.
Oh, wait. So the comment is using dark political satire, popular among Iranian opposition circle. But I know the Kotlet one. Kotlet, a slang term meme referring to eliminated IRGC officials or commanders after an airstrike, originating after Qasem Soleimani was killed in 2020. We know that already. So wait, which part? The IDC and the IDC part. Like explain that. So fresh Kotlet meetings refer fresh Kotlet meetings refers to a targeted strike hitting a gathering or a meeting of regime military figures. Okay, lemon tree in Persian cuisine, fresh lemon juice is traditionally squeezed over cutlet. The commentator is joking that they have plenty of lemons ready to celebrate and enjoy the newly made cutlets. But where is the IDC? Okay.
Iranian Dinner Club. He said it himself.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that is. Okay,
that was the last missing piece.
But that was pretty interesting that AI knows about the whole cutlet meme thing. I mean, it must know about it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the way it explained it.
He said, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about food. Right, James, right.
Yes.
And James also says, yes, I would love to see France's Air Force and their AASM hammers. Those things drop buildings. Ooh, it sounds a little heavy. And he also said, I love the fact that people picked up on my idea. Super chat early and a lot. So it was you who are causing me the losses.
Thank you. Thank you, James. Yes. I like the strategy, James. Great recommendation. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just hard to compete. You know, Armin has more viewers and just, you know, he's been, yeah.
I don't actually, you know, I'm the underdog. I'm actually achieving this with actually lower views, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm the underdog now. Look at me, Ali. I'm the underdog now. I have less views than you. And thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Wow, people are saying, Vanessa Strauss is saying, good job, James. You know, all the traders and, you know, all the traders. It's all good.
The traders? This is the original stream. What are you talking about? You're the new guy.
All the traders.
Okay. Thank you. What the hell?
And where'd he go? And last Magi with the 5 jewels. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wilson.
And I think you start this one.
Oh yes, haven't seen Jew Hater. Did he run out of gas too?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jew Hater shows up only when he thinks the Islamic Republic has the upper hand. So when Jew Hater is not here, it shows that he knows that they're effed right now. Yes. Yeah.
No, the other guy shows up sometimes.
Yeah, so look at this. Look at this. Salt Queen traitor, excuse me? Yes, exactly. I do not. In fact, Ali is calling you traitors, and I never call the other side traitor. In fact, I celebrate Ali's audience growing. I support all sides, but Ali is calling you a traitor for being on this side. See the difference? Notice the difference. Okay.
See, Armin just tries to. He doesn't really take a position. He just holds all sides, and I'm here standing up for my.
Because I consider you to be pro-liberty, Ali. I don't know why don't you consider me to be pro-liberty? I support all sides. I support all sides that are pro-liberty. So there you go. I guess I look more highly and I have a more positive view on you and your chat than you have on me. which is
Yeah, that was a good pushback there. I'm not gonna lie.
yo.
Not bad, not bad.
Yes, I've been doing this for 20 years. So.
Armin's taking my aggression and
Yes.
redirecting it. Okay.
It's called Tai Chi.
Yeah, he's Tai Chiing me.
Yes.
And Vanquish with our next super chat says, "It's really hard to be as good as Ali. Well done, Ali. Thank you so much."
True.
Thanks, Vanquish. Appreciate that.
Thank you, V for Vanquish.
Is there anything that you guys?
It is hard. Okay, here's the thing. It is difficult to be as good as Ali, but if you join our team, Ali is available to give you advice.
True.
Yes,
That's true.
Ali, yeah. Ali would be, if you want to be a YouTuber as part of the Liberty Politics team, Ali is available to give you advice on how you can improve your live streams.
Yeah, if you want it. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Vanquish.
Thank
Is there anything that you
thank
guys
you,
want to
V.
see us or me do, us do, anything else? Let us know.
Oh, don't ask them. They're gonna come up with the weirdest ideas.
No, as in like
no.
content-wise. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And thank you again, Vanquish. Our next one is from Debbie Fuller saying, Adi and Armin, can we discuss no ref after the Norwegian king is not the focus of the country? Hamas is trying to normalize funding for aid across the European Union. Oh, isn't that funny? I didn't know that, but that's what's funny to me is that they're not getting money from the Islamic Republic, and look where they went to look for it, in Europe.
Wait, so how is this? So I know the Norwegian king is in really serious condition right now. That's what we discussed this in our discussion group. How are these two related? I don't get the super chat. By the way, guys, people in Norway, I'm so sorry for what your nation is going through right now. I know I heard this is I know that the people in Norway really love their king, and they see him as the country's grandpa. And right now, Norway is covering the poor health of their king right now. Something is going seriously wrong. And again, if you are from Norway, our thoughts are with you. I know he's a very popular king in Norway, and so sad that you guys are going through all of that. So, but I don't understand how this is connected. Ellie, do you mind explaining?
I think Norway is increasingly becoming more sympathetic to groups like, or what Hamas tends to represent, at least what they think. So I think that's why they're trying to get fund in these certain European countries, is my best guess. Otherwise, this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
So I got the AI explainer that breaks, decodes the super chats for me. Is saying the commentator is asking the hosts to discuss the Norwegian Center for Conflict Resolution once the current news cycle regarding Norway's king dies down. Okay, so right now everything news related in Norway is about the king. So he's saying once dies down, can we, me and you, discuss that? Specifically, they are raising concerns about back-channel diplomacy and foreign aid, alleging that this whole NOREF, which is the Norwegian Center for Conflict Resolution, NOREF's dialogue initiatives and mediation efforts enable Hamas to legitimize and secure European aid funding. Okay. You were right, Ali, about the second point. Okay, interesting.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
keep an eye on it. Thank you,
keep
Debbie.
an eye on it, yeah.
Just because I don't know anything about it right now, so
Yes.
I'll go see what's up. Our next one is from Trailers, who says, free Iran from 9 to 5. It's a start. Free Iran from 9 to 5.
So I think this might be, is this a reference to how Liberty Politics has, 10 hours, like, wait, how many hours? 9 hours of show? Is that 9 to 5 for you? So guys, we're gonna have 24/7 shows at some point at Liberty Politics. So right now I'm streaming around 10 hours a day, but as we expand our team, and more of you join our team, and the ones who are good at get added to our panels, we'll eventually make it 24/7 on Liberty Politics YouTube channel. No, that's not what you mean. 95 is the song.
Oh, the song from Dolly Parton. Dolly
Oh,
Parton
okay.
made a song called Free Iran?
No,
Am I reading that wrong?
the song 90 from 9 to 5, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So Free Iran from 9 to 5. It's a start. Why does it break my brains to read messages like this? Because I don't get
because
the
it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to understand that, so it's not your fault.
trailer.
Yes. It's not easy to understand that, so it's not your fault.
Okay, and trailer's response was, I'm an alien.
Okay.
All right.
So
Thank you very much.
don't
trailer.
blame yourself, Ali. You're talking to an alien, okay?
And then Gary says, Ali, because you're 12 years old. Michelle says he's too young. All right, well. I actually think these are so funny. Ali is baby.
Oh.
I like those. I think those are funny. Nyla says, you're young, Addy. It's okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
All right. Thank you, trailers.
You grow up. You will be a big boy one day, Ali. Okay.
I'll grow up one day and I'll understand.
Yes.
And Black Cat says, be the super chat. Yes, be the super chat you would like to see in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you, Black Cat.
Thank you, Black Cat.
And Wes Downer, who says, Armin's sock puppets were too slow today. You have sock puppets?
Wait,
I didn't know that.
What's a sock puppet?
Oh.
I think he's referring to the people in your chat because we won the super chat race.
Oh.
Maybe.
Is that what you meant, Wes? Are we sock puppets? Are we the bad guys?
I don't know.
No, not us. Guys, we're the righteous. We're like the USA and Armin's like the UK and the British Empire. And we're trying to break free and get our independence. And you know what I mean?
Okay. What?
Wes
Guys,
is saying,
you know, if our chat is the US, I see Ali's chat as Israel. See, I'm being so. That's how I see it. I see.
What are you insinuating?
I'm insinuating that we're allies.
And Wes says the fake people who buy Armin super chats. True.
Oh, look at this, guys. He's calling you fake. I'm sure I'm spending so much love. I'm pouring my heart out to your Ali's chat, and they call us fake and sock puppets. Look at this. I'm being so sweet to them, and look how they treat us. They call us the UK. Yeah. We call them Israel. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
So unfair.
Thank you, Wes, for the laughs there.
I mean, no offense to UK. No offense to the people in UK. We're talking about governments, okay?
Yeah. And Shauna says, it's not my fault. Your name made it be stuck in my head. I'm just sharing the joy. You don't know how often I sing that in my head.
It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song. So it's okay. You know what? If any song, if I had to choose right now what song to get stuck in my head, it would be that one.
But Shauna, it's never your fault. That would be ridiculous. And Shauna also said,
sometimes.
Notice how I haven't insulted all of Europe recently, Armin? You should be proud of me. Or yourself for your influence.
Oh, I am proud of you, Shauna. I'm always proud of you. I'm always proud of Shana. Shana is like a huge source of knowledge, and yeah, I every time Shana says something, and it's like a very nuanced take on something or shows that she has knowledge, I'm like, of course it's Shana. Like, what else you expect? So yeah, I'm very
Nice.
proud of Shana.
Yeah, I actually saw a little bit of you guys' panel. It was like you, Shauna, Elisa, and I think it was Sid. It was pretty cool.
Shauna's going to start her own channel.
Sweet.
Shauna is a great addition. I
You should do it,
think, like,
Shauna.
honestly, yeah, people that we are adding to our panel are people with amazing knowledge, amazing passion, and on the right side of history that deserve to have an audience, and more people should hear them. So I'm really proud of our team right now.
It's great. Building up liberty politics.
Yes.
Prince Ali. Yep. Thanks, Shauna.
Thank you.
And our
Shauna.
next one is from James Moore, who says, how are the new sanctions going to affect people who send money home to family in Iran? September 8th is the deadline. You can no longer send money to family members who live inside Iran after September 8th.
Wow.
You can apply to get a special exemption if you want to do that.
You could still send stable coins, can't you?
I don't know.
Right.
I would doubt it because they're also targeting digital assets.
Yeah, but to individuals, you can still send them.
Hopefully. Yeah. And
thank you,
James.
Yeah, I think so.
Question.
James, I think there's a way. I think you could send cryptocurrencies to individuals. I think, but don't, you know what? Don't listen to me. Talk to a lawyer. Don't do anything that is illegal. Okay? Ignore everything I just said.
Yeah. When September 8th comes, or we get more info, we'll cover that because we covered it yesterday, how September 8th is the deadline. After that, you can't send money to relatives. We'll see what ends up happening, though. And thank you for the good question, James. Our next one is from Koala Katie, who says, nothing clever to say tonight, just thank you. That was the best thing. It's the best thing you could say.
That was actually clever. Actually, the most clever thing to say when you don't have anything to say is that I don't have anything clever to say. And that's a clever thing to say. And thank you, Koala Katie. Thank you so much for the support.
Thank you, Katie, who is, I think, one of my first subscribers. I think in the top 10, 15. See, I remember. And
Katie has
Africa
been here
Chica.
with us for a long time. And thank you for being on our side.
Thank you. The Africa Chica with the 5 jewels. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Eagle. And George Hansen, who says cash flow causes cryptic characterization.
Yes, because I think what this means is that the super chat, if it's small, it only gives you some limited characters to play with. So people have to be cryptic, I think. And that's why, am I getting this right? I think I understood.
Yeah, there's a limit on the characters you can send. I don't know how much it is, though.
If I understood the super chat correctly, then that was pretty good.
Yeah, you did. I actually did not understand that.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, George Hansen. Good point. And Mir Schreiber says, if I buy Armin super chats, does it mean that I was accepted to the Mossad? Yes.
Yes. In fact, it's the only way to get to Mossad. It's a precondition. Okay. Every time you apply for Mossad, I think it's question number 4 or 5. I'm not sure yet, but in the application form says, have you given a super chat to Armin yet? Okay. It's question number 4. Question number 4 on the application. And you will automatically get rejected if you say no. Or if you leave it empty.
You guys can now apply.
Yes.
And thank you, Mir Schreiber. And Cristiano Ronaldo says, hello, Ali Armin. I think the liberation of Iran will be by province. I think the south of Iran will be the first to be liberated.
That was my plan. This is what we have been arguing for forever.
Chris, that's an
Somebody listen
amazing
to us.
plan. You should really push that plan out and get people to hear it.
Yes, I agree with this. In fact, I think here's the thing, Chris. My idea was get a province liberated and don't go north towards Tehran. Go east and west. Capture all of southern Iran to cut the Islamic Republic access to oil revenue, and then go north. You know, build your base east and west before you go north.
Yeah. Great idea.
Yes.
We fleshed that out pretty extensively, actually.
Yeah.
What needs to happen and how it will happen.
Yes.
Okay.
Taha is saying exactly. I see you, Taha.
All right, guys. Let me do a quick check on the news.
Naila is saying, we're listening, Armin. That was your idea months and months ago. Well, thank you, Naila. Thank you for saying that. Armin has played Risk, obviously. Amy. Okay. Thank you, Amy. Amy, I didn't get to hear you today in the group discussion. I felt bad. You had to go.
I read something real quick today that said that the IDF is actually claiming the pilot zones in Lebanon to be a failure. I'm going to go read up more on that. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. But that was everything from us for today. Please subscribe to both of our channels, Ali Samani and Liberty Politics. We're here every single day, and we will be here tomorrow. We got one more, or two more here. It says, Koala Katie says, I was your third member and proud of it. Yes, you were my third member, and I think in the top, 10 or 15 subscribers as well. So one of the OGs.
What number was I?
I think one.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, good. I like that.
I think so. And thank you, Koala Katie. And James Moore says, I'm only cryptic as YouTube will not let me say what I really think. You know what censorship is when you try to send half of my super chats. Oh, damn.
Oof. James, I'm actually scared of reading your actual super chat.
Yeah. That's why he substitutes
Yes. I've seen some of his super chats and I realized what he's gonna say. I'm like, oh my god, that's some spicy super chats right there. So imagine the ones that didn't get through, given that the ones that do get through are so spicy.
Yeah, that would be describing some certain things in great detail. I think we'd promptly get kicked off of YouTube there by the end of the stream.
Thank you, James, for the support.
Thank you so much,
it's
James.
Interesting because YouTube is more censorial with the super chats than non-super chat comments. So some comments that would make it through if it was just a comment doesn't make it through as a super chat. So you have to be more cryptic with your super chats than your just average comments.
YouTube's just weird. And we got another one from Kalbasi, which means baloney in Farsi. I thought I was Prince Ali. Love your show. Love the chemistry between the two. I think I was top 15 subscriber. Ooh.
Cool.
Your name is you also have the name. Well, welcome. And thank you. Top 15 subscribers. Yeah, it's just, I'll write down a list. It's like Koala Katie, Sarah Ocean, Liberty Politics, Amy. Yeah, I'll get them down. I tend to never forget things like that. It's really weird.
Yeah, you get to be Prince Ali. You get to be Prince Ali. Everybody gets to be a Prince Ali.
Thank you, Carlos.
We're all Prince Ali today.
Yeah. You know what? You take it. You got that.
No. Passing the mental. Okay.
All
you
right.
know, Ali, that scene
yeah.
from Sparta, when Sparta is trying to get up and like say I'm Sparta, and then everybody gets up like I'm Sparta, and everybody gets up, you know, so like I'm Prince Ali, no, I'm Prince Ali. You know that? You know what scene I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah.
I haven't seen it now, but I imagine. Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you, Magnum Opus, as well. And
look at this. Look at this.
Guys, look at this troll. Look at this troll.
I love this comment. Yes. So the Salt Queen is saying, "You take it. Ali prefers to be Imam Ali." Yes.
Ew.
Not Prince Ali. You be Prince Ali. This guy.
It's the
will be
worst
Imam
thing
Ali.
ever.
Good one. Good one. That hurts. That hurts. I like it. That is painful.
There's that quote in Game of Thrones from Tyrion, like Peter Dinklage, and he says, you know, it doesn't matter what they say about you. Take what they say about you and wear it like armor. That way, nothing that anyone says can be used against you. This is absolutely one of those things that I can't wear it like armor. So, yeah, this will definitely always hurt.
Yes,
always
wear
hurt.
it like an armor. Wear
No.
Prince Ali. Just embrace it.
No, it's not coming anywhere near me.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, Armin.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Okay, guys, don't forget we have a discussion group with daily calls every single day. Okay, and the link to that is in the description. It's in the QR code above Ali's head at the top left. So, and tomorrow it's free. So come talk to me there and other people in our group. And also Ali has a later one tomorrow as well, which you get to go talk to him over there. So make sure you check out that link and go talk to Ali when it's his turn. Oh, we got another super chat from Black Cat saying Liberty Politics / Atheist Republic is the GOAT. Yes. GOAT. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Oh wait, I didn't even highlight it. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yay. Yeah, okay. So thank you, Black Cat, for the super chat. And then yes, so guys, we'll see you guys. Don't forget to like the stream, subscribe, hit the bell notification on both channels. Thank you so much. That really helps us grow. And we'll see you again same time tomorrow. And until then, Slava Ukrainian, Cuba
Libre,
Taiwan Jayo, long live America, Javisha, Payende, Iran. See you guys.